and feel like
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, and welcome to Kitchen Table Talk Live with SpillitBoyTV. Listen, what are you to say about a podcast that lasts over 3 hours and literally at the last, 15 minutes, a melee ensues? We're going to get into it. Happy Sunday to you all and good afternoon. And like I said before, welcome to Kitchen Table Talk Live with SpillitBoyTV. Of course, I'm SpillitBoyTV. Anyway, listen, so the street's been buzzing. The street's been buzzing because the one name, Tommy Sotomayor. Tommy Sotomayor into another fight. You know, Tommy is always controversial. It's always controversy. As pertains to Tommy's name when it gets circulated, especially when it gets to these things of Tommy fighting. But this time it got really ugly because it's this thing of Tommy fighting with a woman again. That, you know, there was this a few years ago, something about a car accident and him and a woman end up, you know, sparring off and going toe to toe and battling and arguing everything. But this time it actually got physical between Tommy and a female. So that's what the streets were buzzing about. So of course I sat back because I never feel the need to be the one that runs down with the story first. And, I got the story. No, that's just not how I do my thing. I want to see what's going on. I want to see what's actually being said because I would rather not have to do 2-3 videos coming back to retract where all the information wasn't there. And you still end up having to do it sometimes, but not so much as when you are the first one out with said story. So I've been kind of sitting back, kind of checking it out. No, Nat, he didn't actually hit her. He didn't actually hit her, but we're going to get to it. We're going to get to it. Like I said, welcome to the room, you all. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to give my commentary on the situation, and then I'm going to open up the panel and see what you all have to say, because there's a lot of moving parts to this situation. A lot of moving parts, and there's controversy, and there's some folks who are going to feel the way they feel, and there's some people who's going to feel the way they feel. And it really does go back to how you were raised, what your views are as a parent and as a person. So we're going to delve into it and do it the way that I do it, which is kitchen table talk. Go on and say what it is that you would say if you were sitting at your grandmama's kitchen table. You just at my kitchen table, and I talk smart stuff on my kitchen table. So let's get on into it. I see you, Miss T Velocity. You ain't going to stay in the bushes long unless you at work, because if you at home, you ain't going to be able to help it. Hey, Mimi. What's up, baby? Okay, so what happens is Fresh and Fit. Fresh and Fit is a podcast. They're a little controversial themselves. And I didn't know nothing about them. I had never heard of them. Yeah, that's not even my side of the water. So I hadn't really heard about them. But from what I see, their podcast is a little controversial as comes to the Black woman. I said, okay. And what prompted me to the whole story, like I said, I had been hearing things. I've been hearing things around the streets and social media of what had happened. And Tommy had been punched by said female. Shay is her name. Shay had punched Tommy. And I'm like, well, what led up to that? What led up to that? What did Tommy say? Because I know it had to be out of his mouth that got it started, that Shay hauled off and punched Tommy. And what was the situation? Then I kind of said, I'll let it just play out, see what's going on. So I turned, naturally, there she goes. Said you working. So I was around, and then Tasha K actually weighed in on it. And then that's what really caught my interest. And it was really interesting because then I had to go backwards. I had to go backwards because there was a lot to see. A lot to see. I've seen a lot of videos. I see a lot of people who saw little 15-second clips, you know, the normal little 15-second clips. And then they have all of this like they are this authority on what went on. Well, let me tell you, it's not really about a 15-second clip. There is a lot to it. That podcast is over 3 hours long. And those people were all in that room for over 3 hours before anything even popped off. And it popped off so quickly, because there was more to it. It wasn't just a random conversation. It really wasn't. It was not just a random conversation that was going on a podcast. No. I'm going to tell you what I saw, and I watched it all, beginning to end, because I wanted to see it all. After I seen Tasha K, because Tasha K rolled in hot. You understand me? Tasha K, she basically was Tasha was siding with Shay as a black woman, and the whole thing, you know, that a man should never hit a woman, a man should never. Tasha K, over on Tasha K, there was a lot of a man should never even defend himself against a woman. That if a woman hits a man, he should try to restrain her or just walk away. It doesn't matter if she hits you or any of that. You just don't hit that. That was really the stance. And it got very ugly on Tasha's live when a lady came up, and the lady gave her view was, if a woman steps to a man like another man and she hits him, then she needs to be ready for what comes after that. So that's why I said it breaks down. It really breaks down to how you were raised, what your beliefs are, you know, even into your parenting, what you actually believe for your daughters and your sons, because all of that came into play. And Tasha, it just pulled Tasha right off her square. And that's when my ears kind of, I was like, wow, Tasha, really? Listen, I'm just going to say this because that's me. This is my kitchen table. Tasha was over there rolling in hot, more so than she was about that $4 million. She was triggered. That woman's call triggered Tasha in a way I was like, whoa. Like Tasha like went at the lady and ended up kicking the lady off. She kicked her off the platform. And then when anybody after that came up who kind of had them same views, they were being kicked off. They were being kicked off. It was what it was. There was no, we knew where Lady K stood. That's all there was to it. Tasha stood where she stood, and that was that. Hey, that's her platform. That is her Pennsylvania privilege. But baby, she was kicking them off and very much dragging the lady. Like, you know, even after the lady was gone, she had nothing nice to say about the lady. I was like, whoa, okay, interesting. So that's what made me actually go and say, no, I need to know more. And I'm looking at this young lady, cute little lady. You know, she's sitting up there. She's in the middle of the screen. And cute little brown skin lady. And I said, okay. And she was, you know, I could see, I said, there's more to her than what's going on here today. And my spidey sense was tingling. And I said, I don't think this is your real character. Because more as we went on, you know, she was She was holding herself up pretty good. She's holding herself up pretty good. But I'm going to tell you what tipped me off to believe that this ain't the real her, and that on Tasha's platform, I think I was actually viewing Shay's representative. When it got to the end and Tasha said, do you have anything to say, any last words? And she said, thank you for siding with me. I said, thank you for siding with me. Okay. And she went on to say, I need y'all to cash at me because I got to get a lawyer and this, that, thing, the other. Those was your last words? You can find me on social media on this, that. So you on tour. That's it? You on tour. And that's what I got. I said, oh, okay. So let me go look. Let me go look for myself and see what has Lady Tasha K so hot. And I mean, when I said she ran in hot, Tasha was running in hot, baby. I was like, girl, she couldn't sit still. She was very triggered and very bothered. And I said, okay, I got to go back and see what's going on. And I went back and I looked at Fresh and Fit. I went straight to Fresh and Fit, and I had already seen the full clip of the melee. And Fresh and Fit has the first 3 hours plus up to the fight, and they cut the fight part out of their video. Okay. And what I have some things about Fresh and Fit too. Not so much bad, but it just is what it is. It's what they're in there for. Okay. On site said they told her to get one on Yusuf's interview. Okay, that's right. And yeah, Yusuf actually did interview her as well. And Yusuf actually came up onto Tasha's platform to tell her he was proud of her and that thank Tasha for giving her the platform that she needed to actually spread, her version of the story, to give her the platform. So we knew where Yusuf stood as well, naturally. So I go back and I watch the interview. And as I'm watching, Miss Shay over at Tasha's, I didn't see Yusuf's. So I can't say what, I didn't watch Yusuf's interview. I didn't watch it. So I can't say what happened on Yusuf's. But I know for a fact that over on Tasha's, it was definitely her representative who was actually speaking, because she was a completely different character when she was over on Fresh and Fit. On Fresh and Fit, she was very I got it. April. I got it. Yeah, I got it. It was strange when you're fighting the fight, April, of me being right versus me being wrong. And I've been in a whole interview situation. And then my last word is me begging. I'm just being real. It set my radar. It made me go scrambling for the rest of it. I didn't just walk away from it like I did everything. When I saw Yusuf was interviewing her, I just walked on. I was like, all right. And I kept going. That just stopped me. And it just did. I can't even explain to you why, but it just looked like I need to find out more at this point, because those were your last words. And that's what I did. And I got over there and I found it was her representative. Because this is who was on Tasha K's. Yes, and I'm a Black woman, and I just don't think it's right. And yeah, I understand. Yes. Okay, yeah. And hit my Cash App. Yes, I want to do some traveling, and I want to do this, and this is what it was an interview of what I'm doing next, what I'm building upon, and all of that. And I was like, cool, no problem. When I went back and I watched Fresh and Fit and I watched the whole 3 hours, this is who was on Fresh and Fit. Get into it. Yeah, baby. If you throw them coins, maybe I'll give you this pussy, honey. That's what's yeah. What I on the first night? Yes, if that bag is right. Yes, the fuck, nigga. What? That was who was on Fresh and Fit. That's who was on Fresh and Fit for 3 hours. It was, and you know, they were drinking. You could tell they were drinking and everything. It wasn't a turn up after drink. From hour 1 to hour 2 to hour 3, this is who Miss Shay was. Cute as she can be, but she's over there, and she was very much the girl who really didn't have a lot to give to the conversation. She really didn't have a lot to give to the conversation, and everything that came back was this really free, baby, if the bag is right, he can hit this. You know what I mean? That's what it was all given. And I watched as she big up Tommy for 3 hours. For 3 hours, she big up Tommy. Oh, yes, Tommy's so funny. Oh, yes, Tommy's that man on there. Yeah. Because Tommy was trying to talk down about the fact that he literally does OnlyFans and he does porn and stuff. And she was pushing his porn product. And I was like, well, where the hell did this go left? Where did this go left? Because I'm seeing everybody getting along. And she had said over on Tasha's, me and those ladies were getting along really, really well. You weren't getting along, baby. You were there for the get along because you didn't even really react or engage, really. She was sitting there. There were literally 3 times as I was watching that I watched her yawning. I said, don't you fall asleep over there. Because naturally, I'm here to see her. So I'm literally focused in on her, laser focused in on her, because I was just amazed that at the 2 characters, she was completely in character over at Fresh and Fit. I was like, whoa, okay. But yeah, it looked so left field. Once we got through the 3 hours, and that show, that Fresh and Fit, that show, it's interesting. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. And yeah. Yeah, the male versus female thing, and it was interesting. It was interesting in the way the women were putting themselves. They came in, and, oh yes, I'm in school for this, and I'm in school for that, and 2 seconds later, I'm not about my titties. I was like, and y'all think they're gonna take y'all seriously? Somebody ain't doing their work here. Something crazy. So I was like, okay. So after 3 hours of watching her pushing Tommy's porn product and how funny he is and how big his penis is and how, oh girl, he's over on his, oh yeah. Because they're talking about being on OnlyFans. She was saying that she don't give up nothing on OnlyFans. She said over Tasha, all I do is, baby, I don't even show my vagina. I don't even show my vagina. I just do basically like thirst traps. And she's like, it's just a bunch of horny old perverted men, and they just give me money. I was like, girl, you killing your own brand over. She was over on Tasha's killing her own brand. I was like, what is going on with this girl? She's different. Very different. She was really killing her brand over on Tasha's. Like, I ain't doing nothing really. I'm just, posing a facade and really not giving up nothing. But when she was over there on Fresh and Fit, she said, oh yeah, Tommy on. Oh, he fucking. Yeah, bitch, you putting it down. Yeah. She was Team Tommy till the 3rd hour. And then as they were getting ready to wrap the show, Shay woke back up because I told you she's over there yawning. She woke back up and she then proceeded. She said, I want to go back for a minute. I want to go back for a minute. And I want to tell you, and they're sitting, her and Tommy sitting side by side. And she said, I unfollowed you. Did you notice that I unfollowed you? And I was like, what is this? And then I said, oh, Miss Shay. Her attitude changed. Her mood changed. And she started literally fighting with Tommy. She was fighting with Tommy. She went right down the rabbit hole of why he makes the videos he makes. Why is his views what they are about Black women? She had just noticed it, and that's why she unfollowed. And she got very, very mad when Tommy literally said, I don't care. I don't care. He literally at first he wasn't engaging. And I was shocked because Tommy liked to argue. He likes to argue, he likes to do all that. But he literally was, I think it kind of threw him off the square. Well, no, let me go back. It did throw him off the square, but the thing is, between her and Tommy, there was information that wasn't being said that everybody else in the podcast weren't privy to. See, up until the third hour, nobody knew her and Tommy even knew each other like that. In the midst of her going on at him, we found out they've been in the DMs. He done flew her and her girlfriend out to his house. And there was a whole thing going on. But Miss Shay basically was clout chasing. Miss Shay was clout chasing. That's all there was to it. I ain't trying to make it pretty. I ain't trying to place no blame. It just is what it is. You sat there for 3 hours, bigging him up, acting as if you all didn't really know each other, that you was kind of like a fan. And then at the third hour, when they were getting ready to wrap the show, you said, okay, it's my turn to show them what a bad bitch does. And you started. And you went full on clout chase. This is my moment. This is my come up. And for that, Shay is winning. Shay is winning. That was earlier this week. Shay was on with Tasha K this afternoon with over 5,000 people in the chat. Shay is winning. Do you understand? By hook or by crook. The clout chase was real and it worked. But at what cost? At what cost? Because now you got a whole lawsuit, Miss Shay. Because this does spun out Tommy's suing her now. So I guess we'll just have to see how it goes to see whether it was worth it or whether it wasn't worth it. Because she's going, in my opinion, she's going to lose that lawsuit. She's going to lose. So let me go on and tell you what I saw. Let me tell you what I saw. So she goes through all that, go down the rabbit hole. She got very pissed when Tommy Reed like one of us. And when I say one of us, I'm talking about Queens. Tommy reads like this. We've all seen him do it. And he did. He lit her up. He lit her up and he embarrassed her. So can he press charges on her, or was it self-defense? It wasn't self-defense. He didn't hit her. He didn't hit her, April. And I'm explaining to you in just 1 second. 1 second. I'm explaining it. I'm getting there. He read her. He read her down. She was going back and forth with him. She wouldn't let it go. It was one of those arguments where people, we see it all the time in the beefing sector. People that's talk in circles, they don't want to get it. They want to They just want to do it. They just keep saying the same thing, and they ain't receiving nothing that's being said. And he brought her all the way around to, okay, I get it. You wanted to let me know publicly that you unsubscribed from me because you don't like my content. Okay, that's fine. I don't care. So there wasn't nowhere really to go with that. And she kept going. And then she leans over and she says to the girl, see, I'm trying not to really go there. I'm trying not to really say what I want. I said, oh, here we go. Here we go. Hold on, April. Hold on. You and them capitals, just hold on. He said, I said, there's something else. There's something that we ain't privy to. And then that's when it started to come out. He blasted it out. They were blasting at that point that he flew her down. He basically said, you know, you're everything that you presented yourself to be. If somebody give you enough money, you'll give up your coochie. And it went all the way left. At this point, she was sitting in the chair where the people around the table was like this. They laughing at her. They laughing at her. And I know they was laughing because I was looking at them laughing. And I was sitting here laughing. I was like, girl, you were a fan of his. You already know how he get down. You already know he's a wordsmith and he's going to give you some words. And he dragged. He dragged when he told her, yes, she said, you flew me down to your house. So he said, I sure did. And then I fucked your friend. And that's why you hear mad. I said, oh my God. And from that, there was no return. That's when she starts standing over top of him with that microphone, screaming and yelling and on and on. And it could have been de-escalated there. That's where the problems began. That's where the problems began. And it was really on Fresh and Fit. Because at that point, Fresh and Fit should have went ahead and closed it down. But as content creators, they said, oh no, the real show just started. And they let them go. It was fine. While they were bantering, it was fine. But all that standing up over him and that, the aggression came on her part. The bad words came on Tommy's part. Tommy called her a son of a bitch. He called her a bitch. He did all these things. But again, it's what you given. It's where we're at now. You're standing over top of him, yelling at him like you yelling at another woman. And they were going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And Tommy did use the very derogatory words first. He did that first. And the whole thing, she kept going and getting angry because he kept firing back at her. He would not shut up. And she was embarrassed. She was embarrassed because her point was to clout chase and embarrass him live, and she got embarrassed. She got put out there as basically a hoe. He basically put her out there as a hoe. Like, yeah, okay, I was tricking off and I chose somebody else instead of you. It was your friend. Yeah, that's embarrassing. Yeah, it's embarrassing. Were the things he said to her nice? No, not at all. But was what she was trying to do to him professionally nice? No. And she knows what she was doing. She's a YouTuber. And she's exactly what he is. She just ain't as big as him. But her mission was to get as big as him off his back. We see it happen down here all the time. All the time. So in the battle of the clout chase, she lost. She got in her feelings. They got back and forth. They standing up there. Now y'all back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then the guy came and got in between them. And here you go, April. You paying attention? This is when she hit Tommy with a damn two-piece. Bop, bop! She punched Tommy twice. Not once, but twice. Bing, bing! Tore him up. Quick crack. What you're not going to do is play in my face. What you're not going to do is try to get me and try to do me. Back, back. When the guy was in between them, she punched Tommy twice. Tommy then was there was this thing. And they're pulling Tommy back and pulling her. And it's like, okay, so wait, he's gonna fight her now? And that's where it was like, whoa, he's gonna fight her. And they're pulling them apart. And Tommy couldn't get to her. There's just a whole guy in front of him. And that's when Tommy pushed the guy. Tommy pushed the guy, which made her and the guy fly back into the wall. That's where the push is. When she was over on Tasha K's, she told Tasha K, because I was looking for it, because I'm like, well, how did this happen? She told Tasha K that Tommy pushed the guy into her, and that's why she hit Tommy, and that was a lie. Tommy pushed the guy after she had pinged him twice. Tommy was embarrassed. He was embarrassed, very embarrassed, and he was wrong at that point. It was what it was. You already had your case. Tommy, you know what you do. You know you sue. So you knew you had everything that you needed to finish winning. And you were embarrassed. And that's why you pushed that man into her on the wall. But when they get to court, them two hits that she gave him is why she's going to lose. She was the one that initiated the actual physical altercation. She punched Tommy. Tommy did not punch her. Tommy pushed the guy. That was after the fact. After the fact, after she punched him, it was a fight. It was a fight. And when they get to court, that the whole man versus woman thing, that ain't nothing but the court of public opinion. That's for us to battle out. When they get downtown, ma'am, you hauled off and you punched that man twice, and it's on videotape. How much money you got? How much is in your GoFundMe? Because that's how it's going to go. In my opinion. In my opinion. But yeah, she definitely sat over there on Tasha's because I was looking for it. I was like, why would he push the man in her? I was like, that was really terrible. And this is the thing, and I'm going to say this. And if Tommy sees this, he may get upset, but it's the truth. Tommy don't carry that kind of energy. He does not carry that fighting type of energy. Tommy is a debater. Tommy is a wordsmith. Tommy will argue with you for 900 hours, but Tommy don't carry that fighting spirit along with him in the streets. When he got punched, when he was at that black event, I think that was in New York, and he got socked, he was still just standing there. And he was standing there. And even with this, it wasn't like I don't know. I couldn't even call it a reflex. I don't know why he made the decision to push that man, because even after he pushed the man, it wasn't. See, if I start fighting with you and I push if I can't get to you and I decide to push the whole crew that's in front of you to knock them up against you, I'm not going to do this and back up. When I push them, we all going to the wall. All of us. That's how you fight. You don't fight by, I mean, if you boxing, you stick and you move. But when you go to wrestling and hitting and pulling and pushing, no, you roll with them. So I was like, I just don't get that from him. I don't get that from him. I'm not saying he's a punk. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying he don't give me rah, rah, siskoon ball, come on, let's fight. He don't give me that energy. Because I couldn't understand for the life of me how he got punched and was still so calm. He still was holding the camera, and that shook me at that other event. Somebody sock you in your jaw and you still hold the damn camera and a tripod. I don't work that way. So I don't know. And that's why I said, no, he's not that type of guy. He's not, he'd rather go ahead and talk it out with you and whatever, and then go on to the courts and let them handle it. So this was a little out of character. It was definitely a little out of character, the whole push thing. But no, he didn't push first. He didn't push first. He pushed after he got punched twice. And I saw it with my own eyes. And I ran it back and I looked and I ran it back and I looked because I was looking for specific things. So I didn't go in with a naked eye. I was looking for things that didn't exist. She lied over a Tasha case. She lied to Tasha. That's not what happened. But either way, like I said what I had to say about Tasha. Tasha came in hot, baby. Tasha didn't give a damn. Tasha of the she felt as though he should have not engaged with her at all. At all, no matter what she did. Spit on him, punch him, whatever. She said if she didn't have like a knife or a gun or something, other than that, he had no business to hit her at all. And that was her feelings. Very interesting. Very interesting. You say, James, this is not supposed to be funny. I ain't being funny, Tonya. So this is what I'm gonna do. That's my observation. That's what I actually seen. Very interesting. I just felt like this whole thing, I think it was a clout chasing moment. I think once, because she said she didn't know he was going to be there, but I think once he was there, I think Miss Shay said, this is it. This right here, this is it. This is my come up. And I think she followed it out, and it didn't really go all the way that she thought it would, James. It was a mix of drinking. That's the difference with the New York event versus Miami. I'll go for that, Crystal. I'll go for that. I'll go because the way he came up out of it, I'll go for that. I'll go for that. But he didn't mess up his case. He ain't messed up his case because she socked the shit out of him, child. Ping ping. I said, oh, girl, shit. I did it. I was like, oh, girl, she got you out of it. She got you. She got him, buddy. I was like, oh. But that was her energy was very, he should have been shocked that she punched him. I wasn't shocked that she punched him. She was real down. She had no drawers on, dressed up around her waist, honey, and she was still going. She pulled it down eventually before she got pushed into the wall. But just, it was interesting. It was very interesting. Very interesting young lady. But yeah, I think it was a cloud chase. So listen, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop this and then we could talk. Now, here you go, talk about 2 pieces and a biscuit. Lord have mercy. I'm going to drop this link and I'll let you all come up and we can discuss this. Again, I say that I think it's a whole thing of how, your side deciding, because now we're playing the court of public opinion. It really does have to do with how you're raised and what your views actually are on male roles versus female roles. So let's go on and get into it. I could just imagine where this conversation's getting ready to go. But I'm going to give y'all chance, honey. I sure is. Hey, Natalia, what's going on? There is the link. Click if you dare. I ain't here to argue with you. I'm just here to talk. Just here to talk it out. Just here to hear what it is you think. So I'm telling you now, don't come up here thinking you're going 2 pieces of the biscuit me, because you know how that's going to work. I'll let you have your say, but I ain't taking no abuse. That's just a warning. Just a warning. So let's see. Hello, Chanel.
Hey, Jane.
What's going
Hey,
on?
Kat. Nothing. I'm chilling. Kid free. I'm so happy. Woo-hoo.
You're such a mess.
I
So
know.
what you think? What do you think? What you got to say, Chanel? Hey, what you got to say?
Okay, I was listening when she was on Tasha K,
Mm-hmm.
and she kept saying like she didn't know who he was, and I'm like, that strikes me as a whole ass lie as to why you was around him a couple of times. So I looked at that as a lie. Now she was saying it was longer. Okay, the podcast was longer. I don't watch the show. I just watched the clip, and both of them are wrong in the situation. My view on it is like, if you felt like he was saying this and saying that, why you didn't get up and walk away? Remove yourself from the situation, because he does say vile things about Black women. And also, I look at it as, if you put your hands, if you put your hands, I don't care if you're male or female, that's a threat and you can harm somebody. So, hell yeah, if you hit him, you're the aggressor. He had every right. You lucky, because some men, if you put your hands on them, they will knock you out. So you were wrong in that. And if you have this open case, as you were on Tasha K, you talking about it, they can use that against you. So I chalked it up as she was just young and dumb. She don't really know. Remove yourself. If he's calling you all of this, remove yourself out the situation. I just got up and left. I'm not about to argue with you. Hell, probably because I'm just 41. I'm just trying not to fight. But I would remove myself. That's how I felt. Where did April go?
I don't know. She dropped. She'll come back up. Let me drop it back for her. Queen Vonnie says, "Spillitboy, I watched as well. Tommy did push the man into her before she swung respectfully." Queen Vonnie, I have to disagree, baby. When she swung on him, that when Tommy pushed him, they ran into the wall. When Tommy pushed the man, her and him flew back into the wall. Did they not? Is that a second push? Because when she punched him, they're not actually in plain view. Actually, the guy, whoever the little podcast guy, is actually standing in the camera. You can see Tommy over here, and you see a little bit of her, and you see her hands as she connects the two punches. So was there another push that I missed? And before that, and I would definitely go back and pull it back, fan it back up, and do it right. I noticed that as well. She punched him before they flew back into the wall. When Tommy pushed them, they flew into the wall because he's a pretty thick guy that was in front of her. When Tommy pushed them, the two of them slammed into the wall. And that was after she had got punched.
Yeah, it was just for her to say, I don't know who he is, but you felt okay to go with him. But you said you don't know who he is. That just didn't make no type of sense. And it's like, girl, you knew who this man was. You gonna go with a random stranger? And then you told your friend business. I'm like, I'm not about to tell my friend business if she accepted money to have sexual relations with him. That's not your place. You should have said, I just don't want to answer that. That's not my business to tell. That's not a friend. That's that young stuff. I don't know. That ain't how we roll. So I'm gonna be quiet.
April,
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you after you've been down there typing to me in them damn capitals.
Are you a doctor? See, like, everybody, mammy can go get a certificate, so can I. Hey, just man. Hey, baby. Hey, everybody. James, if I ain't mistaken, when he stood up, you know how you be arguing with a person and you be like pushing them with your chest?
Yeah.
Push that dude, and that's why she hit him with that two-piece. Now, if I ain't mistaken.
I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at that again. I have to go look at that again.
I don't know.
Because I know is I heard talk of one.
That's why your dad did.
Yeah, I heard about one push and one punch, but I viewed one push and two punches. So I'm not above reproach. I will go and look again, but I watched multiple times and I saw what I saw. So I'll go back and look at the interaction, because again, you miss some of the interaction when they're right up on each other before the guy comes, because the guy who's doing the podcast stands up and he stood up in front of the camera at one point.
I'm gonna jump in the chat, James.
All right, baby.
All right. See you, Just Net.
I'm lost. Net. Net, got to get that phone together. Lonnie,
Hey, what's up, James?
what's going on?
Hey, I just wanted to come up here and say that I don't agree with the lady hitting Tommy. Me speaking from an older woman, I just wouldn't. I think when she asked him, even though like, even though she, is a history with them,
Mm-hmm.
she, I'm this me thinking, this me thinking in my head. It probably wasn't a major problem that they had, when they got there. She probably did feel some type of way, but they got there, they talking, they vibing and everything. And then she just probably was like, oh, since we was vibing, we having a good time. She probably was like, let me ask him, why you, Tommy, can I ask you something? Why you talk about black women so much? And she's probably saying, why you talk about black women so much? And we don't know, but in her head, she like, you talk about black women, but you then flew me and my girlfriend out, whether they wanted to pay for stuff, not, whatever. That's their business, right? So she probably like, we vibing, we having a good time. Why you come at black women? And I think she really probably didn't know his history. Because I think all of us, we've been on YouTube for a while. We older. We know, certain names we hear in this YouTube space. I mean, I'm sorry, YouTube space. We be like, oh, we know what they about, or not what they about, but I'm just saying on YouTube. On YouTube, we probably
Right.
like, oh, we know their history. We just like when Jessica X came up on a panel, I was
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, Jessica X don't like black women. I already know
Yeah,
what
I had
she
never
about.
seen her before. I never seen her or heard of her before today, and I got a feel for her very quickly. She was like
Right.
interrogating her. It was like she was in court already. I was like, "Girl, yeah, that's good practice."
Right. So me knowing Jessica X, I already knew what time she was on. But she probably don't know what type time Tommy on. Like Tommy go there. He's with the shits. We all know that.
Right.
She probably didn't. So when she like, and to be fair, she asked him like, why you, and he told the answer, but she was like, I guess she wanted more details. She wanted, and he like, listen. Then he said, I say what I say because I get like, I already know he gets money off of us talking about black women. But it seemed like, so then he just went, that's how Tommy is. He done went with F you bit, and she like clapped back.
Yeah.
So uh, to me, this falls on Fresh and Fit. And the reason why I say that is because the guy Myron, he's older. He said he worked at the FBI. He did this. He do this. He always coming down with these statistics and all this stuff. So why even do that? It's good to have women on there and men on there, and y'all have y'all opinion. Y'all can go back and forth. That show is really a bad atmosphere. And being as though that I'm 39, I can be mature and be like, they play too much. But me in my 20s, early 20, mid 20s, I'll be like, I have a whole different atmosphere. So another thing, what I didn't like, they had 9 black women on the show. And one of the white girls was like, because Tommy was like, oh, these just words. These just words. And then the white girls was like, yeah, they are. They just words. But nobody is for 10 years been talking about y'all, making money off of y'all. So me as another race, I'm just saying, if this was an Asian guy going in on Asian women, this, that, third, I wouldn't even open up my mouth because I'm not an Asian woman. But see, these bitches don't know they plays. And that got me a little bit upset. But like I said, I don't agree with what the girl did. I'ma just let the courts handle that. But I feel as though Tommy was wrong. Tommy is damn near 50. He should have just shut that situation down. He could have said, I said what I said, this is what I meant, and not engage. Because it takes two to argue. And that's all I wanted to say, James.
All righty.
Thank you.
All right, baby.
What's up, Uncle James?
What's up, Indigo? Hey, Indigo child. What's going on? Come on, Indigo. Indigo was holding first, Ken.
You can go before me. You can go before me.
Ken.
Okay, thank you. No,
Yeah, his phone probably going to mess up.
I'm just confused on these women. I'm just so confused. First, the Jessica X chick. First of all, she's a weirdo. She make her money off catering to black men. So of course she's going to take up for Tanya. Of course. So we not even we gonna eliminate her. We don't care about her. She's a weirdo. She's a prostitute. It is what it is, allegedly. I can tell that a lot of you women that came up here and in the chat did not watch the whole video. I can tell that y'all not even paying attention to what happened. Y'all not gonna let no man sit in y'all face and call y'all B's and H's when she wasn't even cursing him out at all. She just was trying to have a grown-up conversation. And he kept disrespecting her. So if you're going to keep disrespecting this woman, of course she's going to react the way she reacts. Now, he was the aggressor because he pushed the guy into her. So it really appalls me how y'all black women, always talking about the men need to stand up for the women and the black men need to stand up for the black women. But then y'all getting y'all ass up here and taking up for Tanya and talking about she's wrong for defending herself. And that's why I be cursing y'all ass out. Thank you, Uncle James.
Goodbye, Ken.
Child.
And the guy. I already knew where the hell was going.
Listen,
okay.
I got out here to confirm what the ladies were saying in the live about the fight. Now, what escalated the situation, as you know, it got loud. She was in his face. She was saying some things that triggered him, and I think at one point she stood over him, and then that's when the guy got in between the two of them, and Thomas Sotomayor yelled at her, "You stupid bitch!" And that's when she was just like, "Oh yeah." And so then after he said that, he pushed the guy into her, which made her swing at him twice, Bob. And then that's when he pushed him against the wall the second time. So there was two pushes. Thomas Sotomayor did kind of shove the guy enough to where it triggered the woman to swing on him. So I want to
that's the push. I didn't see that.
Yeah,
but I didn't see. Again, I'm looking for one push, just like I was only looking for one punch. I was looking for one push, and the one push I saw was when he pushed them and they literally hit the wall.
And I just want to say, both parties is wrong. Tommy Sotomayor is an elder. He's a man. You should, at this point in the game, you should know how to de-escalate a situation. You know what this girl's coming from. You know what she's trying to do. You got to know when to pick your battles. You know what I'm saying, at this point. And I feel like when she went wrong at it, she's barking at the man, and she's swinging at the man. And I just want to know why she wasn't wearing any panties. Because
her dress didn't require them.
And all I saw was belly button and bear monkey down there. I was like,
that dress didn't require panties. You don't want no panty line with that dress.
Well, maybe that's why she got the GoFundMe account. Maybe that's why she was asking for money, because she needed some panties. I was just trying to. That's what I wanted to know. That's what I really wanted to ask you.
That dress didn't require panties. Women don't have that like I will uphold her for that. Women ain't got to wear no panties if they don't want to.
Well,
And
I don't have to wear no
some
drawers.
outfits you don't want a panty line in, and if you built and you bad like that, you ain't got to wear no panties. But
Well,
what
when
you need
you
to do
ain't
is
wearing
pull
no
out.
panties, honey, and you selling,
Yeah.
you selling puss on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
If you know you going in a low vibrational setting, and you know you at some point while in the midst of drinking and arguing, that there just might be a possibility you might swing. You need to put some panties on.
Yeah, you should
Or
show some
pull that
restraint.
dress down while you with one hand and swing with the other.
No, don't be swinging. Period. When you got dress on, just show some restraint. But yeah, but the no panty thing is that didn't bother me at all. I was like, yeah, that dress didn't require no panties.
Well, it was a free show for me. I didn't have to go on her OnlyFans at that point. I saw what.
Oh my god!
I'm just saying. But I will say this: both parties was wrong. This whole situation was low vibrational. Like it's Tommy Sotomayor. However you feel about him, like you too old for this at this point. Like, and she's winning. I agree with you. She is eating off this whole thing
for now. And
I feel like even with this lawsuit, they're gonna throw it out. Ain't nobody gonna take that shit serious.
I don't know, because I was looking in the chat and people were saying, oh, they're going to look at his past videos. No, they're not. No, they're not. Because it's about a situation. The lawsuit is about a situation. It's about a physical altercation. He could have called people 900,000 bitches in videos for the last 20 years. It has nothing to do with what was actually filed. So no, they're not going to look at those past videos and throw that out. That's not how that works.
Do you think he has the right to sue her?
Yeah.
Do you think if the table was turned and she wanted to sue him?
If it would have been even easier, because if he would have punched her, he'd have went to jail.
Of course.
He'd have went to jail.
Probably would have got his ass whooped right there on the spot.
And he should have. I mean, because you what are you punching her?
I don't think Tommy Sotomayor would fight a man.
I don't think he'll fight anybody. I don't think Tommy would openly swing first on anybody. I really don't. I really don't. And when I watched, there was another video of what's his name? Tariq Nasheed, is that his name?
Yes.
He was all in Tommy's face.
Yeah.
And Tommy didn't swing on him. He was all in his face, standing up over him, had that camera all in his face, just disrespected him. Just totally disrespected him in his face. If he didn't hit him, he's not going to hit anybody. And I just don't believe he is like that. I don't think he is a fight type of guy. I think he'll fight if you push him far enough in the corner where he can't get out. But to actually hit somebody to start a fight, I just don't see him doing that. I really don't.
I think even how he reacted to her, he was so embarrassed. He felt like he had to do something.
He was embarrassment played a lot.
Yeah.
On both sides.
Oh yeah.
We coming dazzle. I'm coming dazzle. Yeah, it's embarrassment was really lead, and then some of that liquor. I'm sure that helped.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but but fitting, what was there? Fitting, whatever.
I don't watch the show.
Fresh and Fit. Fresh and Fit.
Mm-hmm.
They could have de-escalated it before it even got there. But
again, was a show
as
for
content creators, they was like, "Oh, this is our money right here."
Yeah, you know what? And this is gonna probably sound crazy for me saying this. And I don't care, but I just felt like by both of them being the blackest people in the room, y'all carrying on like that, it was embarrassing on both ends. Like it was like secondhand embarrassed for me. It was like it didn't have to get that far. All these non-black folks in the room, and y'all the only two.
And they were laughing. They were laughing.
They were getting their life.
The girl up front, the one, her name was Yellow something, the one that had the real big breasts, with the red top that was cut down and said she made all the money. She was just like, oh, look at him, honey, look. She was literally over there clowning, and she was talking to the guy, Myron or whatever his name is. She was saying like stuff to him, like, look at him.
Only person that got up was that Latina young lady, the one with the red on. She was the only one that kind of got up and was trying to get in between them. She was pulling Tommy Sotomayor back.
Yeah,
the was just sitting there, just getting their life, and was just they were clutching their invisible purrs on it. But my thing is, it's just so embarrassing as black people in the middle of Black History Month for y'all to be sitting on somebody else's podcast, acting a monkey damn fool like that,
and making.
And I agree with you, like. This may sound bad, but my mom and my daddy taught me if anybody put their hands on you, you hit them back. Okay. Now, my dad also taught me not to put my hands on women. Do not put my hands on girls. You know, boys are stronger than girls. You know, boys have more. You know, they're more powerful than girls. You know, especially when your adrenaline is going. You know, you can knock somebody out and kill them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I was always taught not to put my hands on a female, but at the same time, you're not going to be stepping over me, you know, punching me and hitting me and thinking I'm not going to eventually defend myself. Because at this point, now you are stepping in another territory. You know, I just feel like a lady is supposed to stay in her place. You should be able to use your words. If at best, just de-escalate the situation and walk away. Let both parties just walk away and collect ourselves. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
If you put your hands on me, I'm gonna swing back.
That's it.
I'm just saying.
Oh, I've already given my. I didn't even.
I know. I'm just saying. And I because
everybody knows how I feel about putting your hands on me. Everybody knows I'm not going to put my hands on you. But if you put your hands on me, I'm going to whip your ass.
Right. At this point, I mean, it's all.
But I'm not. You know, I'm not going around hitting people. And I am 50, and I'm 50 years old. And that whole thing about not arguing. Oh no! I'll tongue wrestle you to the ground. I don't care what you.
I'll give you a story.
I don't care nothing about your age or nothing. See, that's something I run into down here a lot on the street. Is on the YouTube streets. It's James is this age, that age, and the other age. Yeah, and at the same time, you got 30-year-olds down here who really don't have a problem with starting shit with me, being 50. So once you start it. Why is it that I can't say nothing when you was too young to actually be disrespecting me in the first place? Let you tell it.
Yeah.
Because if I'm too old to respond, then you was too damn young to say it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that age, I don't. But as far as men like literally jumping on women, no.
Mm-hmm.
No. Just jumping on them and fighting them, no.
Right.
No. But
even if she pushes you up,
I'm not doing that.
If she's
I'm not allowing you to whoop my ass.
Even if she's pushing you or swinging on you, like don't just be flat out, you know, closed fists trying to knock her out and all that stuff. Like you, if it gets to the point where you can't restrain this woman, a woman or a girl, whatever, and you just feel like you got to swing back, then do what you got to do. You at this point you fighting for your life, defend yourself. Because I've heard many cases where men have lost their lives simply because they just didn't defend themselves.
And there's
because the other person
happens to be a woman. I raised my son differently. Walk away. I wish he would put his hands on a girl, and that's respectable. And that's, okay. That's respectable. But you should really go check out the cemetery, Stacy, and see how many people got dead sons that women just took them on out.
Mm-hmm.
Took them out.
I'm sorry, man.
It's not, I mean,
me or you.
It's ugly. It's an ugly situation, and it never has.
But it is what it is.
Lose. We will never see eye to eye on it as a whole people. We won't. But yeah, there's plenty of people who are actually dead at the hands of a woman.
And I'm gonna give you this story. And I'm gonna let you go because I know you got other people in the back room. In high school, I remember I got into it with a girl, and we were going at it, and I called her a bitch, and she took her hand and she slapped the dog shit out of me, and it took everything in me not to hit her back, but you know what? In that instant, I deserved it because I called her out of her name. Up to that point, we weren't calling each other out of our names; we were just arguing. And I just, you know, that's just a testament to how my dad raised me. I could have easily hit her back and it would have just been a tussle or whatever. But I just wasn't raised that way. But I have been in incidents where a female has put her hands on me or a trans woman has put their hands on me and I had to defend myself. I didn't beat them up, but I got them off me.
And you have to watch that. And at the same time, there's people that actually do raise their girls irresponsibly, and they teach their girls that boys aren't going to hit them back. And you put your girls in a bad position. Now, James, he knows to let a woman just, Now, James, he knows to let a woman just beat him down.
And that's the problem.
I think she finished typing that. I think she left a word out.
Would she feel the same way if it was her son?
Yeah, this is the same woman. I think she's saying that he knows not to let her just beat him down.
Oh,
is that what you're saying? But you type, he knows. She said that he shouldn't hit no woman at all. And then she said he knows to let a woman beat her down. But I think that she missed a word while she was typing. Or maybe not. I don't know.
I just, just feel like
you
people
gotta raise your little girls to keep their hands off. Everybody should be keeping their hands off of people. And not girls. There are girls that are raised, oh, you hit a boy, ain't no big deal. He's not going to hit you back. Sorry, not to beat him down. There you go. I got you.
Oh yeah, we agree with that.
There are girls who really do believe that, like they could just do it, and a boy is not going to hit them. And you can see them. You can see them blatantly when you see how they react to boys. You see them. You see them. And it's a lot of times people who have daughters that don't have sons. Generally, women who have all sons don't be feeling that same way about girls banging on their sons. They really don't. And my mother has all sons. So no, my mother, and she's very in that, like, no. Not be beating on my goddamn son. You know, yeah.
And I am the type that I'll call my female cousins. I don't have any sisters, but I have plenty of female.
And then and some of that is problematic too. Why can't
it is problematic?
You bring your cousin in and they kill your cousin, and then now you got to live with that. You know what I mean?
And I was just about to make the point. This is kind of segue into a different topic with the baby situation. You know, this is why you shouldn't be in toxic relationships, that you bringing in your siblings in and putting them in situations where they can get beat up or killed. You're right, Uncle James. It's not.
And she stood up on Tommy just like she could match him. Yeah. She was up on him just like she felt that she could whoop him.
Yeah, she's done that.
She had no fear whatsoever.
She's done it.
That she could whoop Tommy. So I mean, I don't know what you do with that, but you know, whatever. Let me bring Dazzle up here. But yeah, I mean, it's again, you're never going to get 100% across the board. People ain't all going to never.
And that's
never
okay.
Agree with that. And like I said, mothers with all daughters and mothers with all sons, they ain't going to see eye to eye about the situation.
No.
Hey, Dazzle.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good, baby. How are you?
I'm good. Okay, so I can leave with this. So just to add, like, I have a story. Like, in DC, in the DMV where I'm at, it was a lady. I remember watching the news, and the lady got on the bus and got upset with the bus driver, and she spit in his face.
I remember.
And he got up and knocked her. So who do you think got in trouble for that?
The bus driver.
She got in trouble. I thought she got in trouble too.
I'm sorry, you spit on me. That's assault.
Yeah. So some people would say that he was wrong, but no.
Nope.
Like, he wasn't wrong.
No, that's a step above putting your hands on me.
Yeah, because she could have had anything. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
let it be COVID season, and you spitting on me.
I was getting ready to say, look at where we're at now.
Yeah.
If you spit on somebody, I wouldn't care if you are a man, woman, or child. 9 times out of 10, your ass is going to get good and whipped. If you spit COVID and spit on people, you're going to get hurt. You're going to get hurt, and all the other rules are going to go out the window.
Yeah, and it really makes me upset because, you know, I was looking around, you know, looking at different people's channels and how they feel, and she you know, she did an interview with Kwame Brown, and she did one with Tasha K, and it's like Tasha K even applauded her.
Well, we talking about Tasha K.
But and I'm like, this is where we're at now. Basically, because to be honest, after a while, in all reality, she sounds like a disgruntled OnlyFans prostitute that didn't get her way with something. So it's like she gotta have a GoFundMe now. So she didn't get no money from him, so she gonna get it from us.
Well, she needs some money to go get some panties. So
like, this is like, I had to like unfollow, I had to unsubscribe from certain people because it's like, after a while, it sounds like it's okay for a woman to hit a man as long as it's Tommy Sotomayor, because they don't like him. So it's this narrative of, I don't like you, so yeah, you talk about black women, and you know what, you deserve it, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, but if you watch the video,
she kept asking him the same question over and over. He answered the question. She didn't like the question, so she kept asking the same question. And then it's like picking, and then voices start escalating.
And it was and then the basis of her argument was just stupid. That could happen to any of us.
Yeah.
Just for her, at the end of the argument,
daily. You know what I mean? It happens to me daily. It just ain't face to face. You know, when people you're trying to drill to me why you unsubscribe. I don't give a shit. I really don't. Like, I really don't. When you sit and you type me a book and send it to my email about why you unsubscribed, I pretty much read it down to the point of I unsubscribe. And then I don't read the rest of that mess. I don't care. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Like, I'm like, y'all, these people who are congratulating her and stuff like that, they're really leading her wrong. And they're really telling people who are simple-minded that don't understand in real life, they're really telling people it's okay to do that. And I hope and pray no one sits there in the real world and thinks they're going to swing on somebody and they're not supposed to hit them back.
But it really wasn't just the unsubscribe thing. That was the catalyst to get to what she wanted to get to. She wanted to get into the conversation that she had underlined. She wanted to, like she kept saying, I don't want to say, yes, you do. Because the lady next to you don't even know what the hell you talking about. Yep. Like we didn't know what you was talking about. You wanted to get down to he's a trick. He was tricking off his money. He flew us out. She wanted to get that out. And I think she believed that once it was out, he was going to be so appalled that he was out there like that, okay, you win and whatever. But he didn't. He read like an old nasty piece of queen, honey. And gave her, yes, I spent my money on that. And then I just let that money go and I didn't scream. That's what it
told Miss T Velocity. I'm like, she didn't mind him when she was about to, like I told Miss T Velocity when she was about to commit an Oreo with him and her light-skinned Latino friend.
Right.
She didn't have a problem with how he acted then. But it's after they fell out over OnlyFans that she got a problem with how he acted. So for real, it was never about how he acted. So now we sitting here defending disgruntled OnlyFans worker. That's what we're doing. And I don't understand it.
I just thought it was a cloud chase move. It could have been handled better by all parties involved. It could have. It really could have. But it just kind of is what it is, and that's the nature of the business. That's the nature of the business. The more salacious it gets, and I understood with Fit and Fresh and Fit, they wasn't going to do that. I was looking for them for nothing. They was trying to make sure they was getting it. And when old Myron stood in front of the camera, I said, I bet he could kick himself. Because he was standing in front of the camera for part of it, you know. But they wasn't interested in, they wasn't even going that direction. They weren't even going back to where the altercation was happening. They was scattering.
And then I have one more thing. Like when it comes to like the seating arrangements, at any point she could have got up and walked off, and at any point he could have got up and walked off. And my thing is, if you really don't like somebody, why are you willing to sit comfortably by him?
But I didn't get that she didn't like him because she sat there and big up him for 3 hours.
Sure did.
She literally pushed his porn product for 3 hours. 3 hours. Oh, I got his OnlyFans. Oh, I don't watch it. Oh, he's over there. He big. Oh, yeah. She pushed his product for 3 hours. 3 hours. Grinning, skinning, smiling. One point she was leaning on him. All that.
They were very aggressive. Somebody saying in the chat she was not that aggressive. They were both aggressive.
Yeah, they were. They could have de-escalated that situation. And then if you notice, the people, they were kiki and laughing, but at some point they were trying to, change the conversation. She kept on that conversation. So I feel like she knew she wanted to start stuff. She wanted to pull a stunt. And guess what? She pulled the stunt. She got attention. Now she got
all watching it. We're all watching the stunt. Hey, it is what it is. But just know, and this is kind of how cloud chasing works. You're either going to pay it on the front end or you're going to pay it on the back end. And I'm on record saying I think she's going to pay it on the back end because I don't care what y'all say. I don't think they're going to throw her out of court. And I think she's going to lose. I think she's going to lose.
The church lady says she fries chicken and listening. I want a plate when you're done. And make Uncle James and some panel a plate, please. Thank you.
And I was thinking it'd be some BS if she ended up doing.
I'm here. I'm just waiting for everybody to stop. I'm here though. How you doing, Jay? How you doing?
I'm good, baby.
Good afternoon, everyone. I had how you doing? I had several questions, like issues. Like I spoke with her on YouTube, right? And then when I asked the question that I asked, when I forget the guy name who got up and restrained her and pushed her into the wall, and that's when Tommy chimed in. Once she was restrained, then he gets up, to push her. But prior to that, when people are saying that she got that microphone in her hand, but if you look at the video, good, you can see that she never pulled back that microphone like she was going to use it as a weapon. She
No, not at all.
To talk into it, because she also said that they told her, like, before the podcast to speak it to the mic because you could barely hear it. So they were trying to say that she was picking up the microphone to use it as a weapon.
No,
but
that was
I didn't see that part. Okay, and another part what I spoke on before that, when I said Tommy didn't get up to try to swing on her until after she was restrained by Myron. When Myron pushed her back, then he got up to try to do the swinging. But if you go back and you look at the video and you look, she was not originally sitting by Tommy. The 4 black dark-skinned women were sitting on a couch. They were not at that round table. They had the 4 black women sitting on the couch. All the bright-skinned women and the other races of women was sitting on the round table. And they took a break. And when they came back, they repositioned everybody. And that's when they had her sitting next to Tommy. So it was almost like Fresh and Fit and Fresh, or whatever their doggone name is, set that up. You know what I'm saying? They set that up to me. It was like a setup.
That's exactly what it was.
It was like a setup because she wasn't originally sitting there. And for to look at the 4 darkest women were placed on the couch and the other women were at the round table, that threw up a red flag for me, right? Okay, I have 3 children. I have 3 grown children, 1 daughter and 2 sons. And I told all 3 of them, do not put your hands on anyone if you don't want to get hit back. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we as parents are going to clap back at that, but you have to tell them at that time, don't put your hands on nobody if you don't want to get hit back. Don't do it. And then she also kept bringing up the fact of Florida law, stand your ground. But ma'am, you have to remember, you got flew out to Atlanta. You wasn't in Florida. So that wasn't Florida laws, to stand your ground. So I don't know what Atlanta laws are. But she kept bringing up the fact today on Tasha's panel, Florida law said I could stand my ground. I had to protect myself. But ma'am, you was not in Florida doing this incident. But I do think she was set up. Because
or maybe he was set up.
It's just, or maybe, because you can see when she first got there, when she talked to the guy and she told him, y'all didn't tell me he was going to be here. Remember? Did y'all hear that part?
Yeah, he didn't know that she was going to be there either.
Yeah. So they both said it. Yeah. So you heard that too. So that's why I'm saying it was a setup. And Fresh and Fit they both of them got their kikis out of that. So,
but she said she went on Fresh and Fit she went on Fresh and Fit knowing how they don't like dark skinned women, but she said she went on there because she
Well, no,
wanted
they
to
don't
see
just like dark skinned
how
women, honey. They don't like no. I don't care if you light skinned. They don't like no black women at all. Fresh and Fit. It ain't
well,
light
Touche,
skin. It
yeah.
ain't dark
But
skin.
she said,
Yeah, it ain't light
but she
skin or
said she
dark
went on
skin.
there because she wanted to see if they were going to treat her like that.
Right, right. Yeah,
So,
it ain't no light skin, dark skin. They don't like black women. Period. They don't like
why
trans
would
women.
you go
Period.
somewhere knowing that they don't like you and try to see if they're going to treat you different?
Exactly, exactly.
But
That
that's
part.
Because
stupid.
they
That's
get
just like
paid
when your mama
It's
say,
to
don't
be on
touch
their
the.
show.
That's stupid though. That's just like when your mama say, don't touch the stove, and you touch it to see if it's hot.
and
The
you touch
fuck?
it anyway. Right, right, right.
But I
Well,
mean,
And
hey
it
everybody, I'm
always
not going.
I don't know
Hey
it's
why
always
everybody,
a
I'm not gonna
setup.
be up here long, cause
the black women
Nina
that's
was
in
up
there.
here. Nina was up here
Hi,
before me. Hi, I'm not gonna
April.
be up
How
here
you
long.
doing,
Nina,
boo? How you doing? I
I'm
want to
good.
say hi,
I'm
April. How you doing, April? A B C D, Doctor April. A B C D E F G. How you doing?
I'm good. Nina was up here before me, so I know
Okay, so
Nina
let me
got
finish
something to
my.
say.
I'll
But let
finish
me just
mine and then
Go
ask
ahead.
Indigo.
okay, go ahead.
Yeah, go
Go
on.
ahead, April.
I'm
Go
fine.
ahead. I'm sorry.
Let me
Go
just
ahead. I'm
ask
gonna mute
Indigo
up.
this right quick. Cause see, I must have missed the bucket naked part. I just wanted to ask Indigo, was she shaved, baby?
Child, she was saved like a bald monkey.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
She
okay.
was thoroughly
And one
together.
and
Just
But
thoroughly together.
Always
okay,
down there.
and you know, call me Sotomayer's live because his live was today, and he was talking about how on his OnlyFans, because you know, before they were supposed to do a threesome, they did like a interview on OnlyFans. So in the interview, he was saying like she ain't had no problem with him. They was talking, they was making content, and then you know he was saying how if he found it odd that she started getting a little bit disgruntled because he was flirting with her Latino friend, her light skinned friend more than her.
Mm-hmm.
And
well,
basically and basically he got like he said he was gonna post the text messages and stuff on OnlyFans.
yeah, well, go ahead, Nina. I ain't mean to overskip you. I just want to know
Oh
was the
no,
hell for
that's
shade.
fine. Okay. So basically, I am probably seeing it from a a different point of view. I'm not so much okay, so Fresh and Fit, first of all, very anti-black. We all know that. This is a northern Sudanese guy who runs this. The other guy, I guess he's from
Somebody need to
Barbados.
mute. Somebody need to mute.
Okay.
Let me see if I
Can
can
I?
do it.
Okay. So Fresh and Fit, absolutely anti-black. The northern Sudanese guy runs the stuff, um and then the Barbadian guy just kind of tags along, but it's the northern Sudanese guy that runs that platform, really. And there's deep anti-blackness in northern Sudan. You know that they committed genocide against the southern Sudanese. They're more into their Arab side than they are their indigenous African side. So absolutely that platform is anti-black, period. Okay. And then so they're against black people, dark-skinned women. Like, I mean, his culture literally kills people for the color of their skin. So yes, it's anti-black. And Joanna, you said that it's not just dark-skinned women, it's all black women. That's not true. They said they would make exceptions for yellow bones or red bones. So it's not true. It's just dark skinned women. And then,
Wow.
yeah, they sure did. And then let's see. The girl mentioned that she was from Ghana, right? I don't know if she has one American parent and one Ghanaian parent, but her culture is completely different. She's probably the black sheep of her culture, to be honest, being in this type of entertainment field instead of doing the, typical immigrant square education thing that most African immigrants do. So she is kind of probably, and maybe I'm just kind of making my own story up, but from what she said, that she was Ghanaian, she's probably an outcast within her own society because she's picked out this type of sex culture, whatever she's doing, right? And she's only 25. She lost her dad
Yes.
2 days before
Just
she
on Monday. Yeah, just on Monday.
right.
On Monday.
So
and
she
he made
buried
it.
him
He
on
made it a
Monday.
point.
Oh, can
Yeah, he
I add
made it a
to that
point
too?
to wait, hold on, April. He made it a point to keep telling her, "Fuck your dead daddy." Fuck that. He made it a point. Excuse me, James, for curse. I'm sorry. I forgot you're monetized. He made it a point to keep repeating that over and over again, knowing that her dad, they just buried him on Monday. So he made
And
it
it
a
was
point to
Wednesday.
keep bringing that up. Oh,
But
Wednesday.
I will
Okay,
say
but
this though. They had
he
each
made a
other's
point.
number.
Hold on,
Yeah,
Joanna.
he
Go ahead there. Go ahead
He
there.
had her number and they were texting each other. And he knew that her dad passed away, right? And he had sent his condolences, right? And my whole thing is like, if even when it comes to the subject that they were arguing about, like my thing is you had all the way up till now to call him or text him and be like, hey, I didn't like what I seen on your like, why do you not like black women and stuff like that? If she really wanted to know and she was really upset. I was just trying to figure out why wait until you see him on Fresh and Fit to say something when you had his number the whole time.
I think everybody
Right.
had a plan and the plan went wrong. And I go along with Indigo because, like James said, a mother with all sons. I have 8 sons. And like I
I knew you
always
was
tell
trying to
them,
get up here.
put
I
your hands
see
on no
you.
female.
Okay, so
You already knew I
James,
was coming on. You
I knew
already
you
knew
was
I
coming.
was coming on that too. You don't
James
put
said
your hands
earlier.
on no female, but if a
I mean,
female
I
put their
also tell
hands
my
on my
daughter that.
son,
Mm,
if a female put their hands on my sons, you get her up off you. That's now you don't haul off and punch her because of course, then you're gonna do more damage. But
Right.
if a female you steady trying to walk away, you hear me Indigo, and a female steady hitting you and pushing you and hitting you and pushing you,
I'm here.
nah, get her up off you. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't teach my sons to
Let
hit no woman. But baby, get her up off you now, because some
let
women
Nina let
think
Lashonda,
Nina
that they can
ouch.
use that.
let
Some
Nina
women
I'm
finish.
think
just
that they
Let
gonna.
can
Nina
use
finish.
I'm
that.
just gonna finish it up. I'm just gonna finish
Yeah,
up
let
real
Nina
quick.
finish her statement. Let Nina finish her
James said
statement.
earlier
This is
that
gonna
she
say.
was that you saw her representative on Tasha K. I actually think you saw her representative or her horrible representative on Fresh and Fit. I think because I saw a video of her that she did herself where she's flying to Dubai and she acted the same way that she did on Tasha K, right? Or on Yusuf's channel. I think this girl. And she mentioned that she was going to meet up some friends from college. So obviously she had gone to college. She has some education. She has, probably a very
So
Yeah,
strict
so Nina, you don't
background.
think that the so
they
Nina,
went to
you don't think that
Dubai.
the rah rah rah. So Nina, you don't think that the rah 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 is her. You think the
No, I
calm one is
don't.
her.
I think she probably comes from a really strict background. She's rebellious and she went into the sex industry to make money and she doesn't understand the culture that she's in, right? Because if she did that to a Ghanaian man, he would be ashamed to touch her, right? Like he would be judged by his whole culture that he
Right,
touched this
right,
woman. And then
right.
she's not expecting what happened.
And then
Obviously,
at
she's
the age of at the age of 20 at the age of 25. So yeah, go ahead, Nina. Finish. I'm sorry.
yeah,
Just throw her
she's
age
not
out there.
expecting that
25 years old.
she's
Yeah.
young. She just lost her dad. What she wanted to do was to talk about the anti-blackness all along, and she just didn't understand that you have some rules to follow when you're in this type of environment. Don't let him get to you the way he did. I think really her representative is more, this strict background, good girl gone bad. And now she bit off more than she could chew. But I'm going to get off and
And
let you guys
also
continue.
also
That
what I
kind of
think
makes
is
sense, James. Do you agree with
yeah.
Right.
Nina, James?
And then
Right, because
Do you
I
agree
didn't
with
see
Nina?
I didn't see her on Yusuf. So I've seen the one, just
She
one
was
and one.
calm.
Yeah,
She
I've
was
All right,
seen
you
calm
one
on
guys.
and
Yusuf.
yeah.
I think she was full of the
But
stunt.
also I think that the reaction that she made that day made his point. You get what I'm saying? Because he always say that
Unfortunately.
the black dark skinned women are aggressive, they
But that's why
ratchet,
he
they
does what he
slutty, they do
does
that.
because he wants to
Right,
get that
right. So I'm
reaction
saying,
out
yeah,
of her.
that's his
right.
brand.
So
That's
that
his
night,
brand. I
so
mean,
that
I don't.
day, right. So I'm saying that day for him, he made his point. Like, look, this is how these black bitches, excuse me, James, bitches act. And this
Bitches.
is what I've been telling
Yeah,
y'all for the last
that's
10
how you
years.
feel
You
about it.
know, yeah. So this
Yeah.
is she actually made his point, and it was on a video, right? So she brought this out and made his. She literally cleared his point, but not all of us act like that. But that day, he can use this video right now to make
To
his
say,
point that
see,
he's been trying to make over all these
Mm-hmm.
years. Yeah, for
But
all
he
these
also,
Yeah.
years.
he could also
He
call her
did
a
that.
stupid B too,
He
which
did.
gave
I
her
mean,
Right.
ready to fight.
Yeah,
said
no, he
when
called
they
her
were in battle.
a gap tooth. He called her a black gap tooth bitch. He called her you raggedy gap tooth bitch. He called her every every word he put in front of it ended with bitch. You know what I mean? Regardless.
Mhm.
But like I said, he was trying to he proved his point on what he's been saying all these years from one individual. And then if I don't know if you guys remember the one time he had that car accident, and it was a black lady a dark skinned black lady
I
who he
remember
got into
that.
the car accident with.
yeah,
You remember
yeah,
that? Yeah.
yeah.
And he even brought that up. Like this is a car accident, but he didn't have that same
But this
energy when
is
he went out there
Tommy's
to sign
brand,
names.
though, Jawana. This is what he
Yeah,
does.
Right? No, I
yeah.
understand.
This
I
is what
understand.
he
I
does
say
this.
both of them are wrong. I say both of them are wrong.
I think we can all agree
You
But
with
what
know
I'm
that.
what?
saying
Can I
is
have it?
he didn't
Yeah,
have that
yeah.
same energy. He didn't have that same energy when he went out there to sign theirs and party or whatever it was in New York when the
Hell
guys
no, he
were
ain't gonna have
against him.
that
He ran
energy.
A
right
whole
outside. He ran
constitution.
But
outside and
here's the
called
problem
911.
though. When
Really?
they were calm at first, having the conversation at first. They were calm, and she asked him, "Why do you talk about black women, dark skinned women like that?" And he gave her a calm answer.
Hmm.
So after that, they could have left it alone. She did
So
not want to
y'all
be
was
put
she
in
mad? So y'all was
But
she
then
mad because
did you see
he
the
got the friend and he didn't get her? Was this
no
what
no
this
no
was
no
about?
no because
She wouldn't
If
stop
you see
until she got that
April,
Tommy.
if you see
It was
Huh?
there was a
April
purpose in it.
Wait a minute,
Wait a
hold on,
minute,
Joanna. What you
Joanna.
say,
Hold
Jay?
on,
Hold on,
Joanna.
April, if you
Joanna.
see
There was
Hold on, Joanna.
Joanna.
Hold on. What you say,
Hold
Jay?
on, Joanna. There was if when you watch it, there was purpose to what she did and how she did it.
Yep.
She kept pushing until that Tommy showed up.
Yep.
She literally did. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't go to McDonald's looking for a
Mhm.
hot dog because they sell
yeah.
So she
hamburgers.
reversed him on
She
him.
completely kept pushing until the
She
Tommy that
did.
That
she wanted
Tommy.
to show up showed up, and then she just continued on. I just don't think that she thought that he would hit her where it really hurt her. She thought she had control of the
Right.
situation. And when he hit her where it
Right.
hurt her, then she went somewhere else. I think
Mhm.
it
So
just
that's what
got
you
out
that's
of
Right.
like
so that's what you
April said
think
that
too,
earlier, it
So,
got
Indigo, that
out
she
of
was
hand.
so that's what
so
you
now
think too,
people are
Indigo.
like,
She was pushing for that Tommy. She wanted that Tommy to
yeah,
show up.
Yep.
because you know what people are calling her now? They're calling her a martyr for black women, and
Oh
somebody had to
God.
do it.
Oh
Jesus
God.
Christ.
Also, she was a sacrificial lamb. Get the fuck. All right, y'all. Love
They're
Yes.
y'all.
calling
Yes.
her
She's
that.
the Harriet
Yes.
Tubman of OnlyFans.
Because April, I don't know if you heard me. April, April, I don't know if you heard me when I said when they first entered the studio, they had the four dark skinned women sitting on the couch. They was not
Right.
on the round table.
So,
When they
like,
took a
Yeah.
break,
that's not just exposed TV.
he
What
came
is that
back.
to expose? Well, if you have his OnlyFans, then you know that he
Right.
sleeps with dark skinned women on OnlyFans.
All
So
the
it's nothing
time.
to
Yeah.
expose. So it's nothing to
Okay,
expose. So if you are martyring
right.
yourself for what?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. He puts us down so much, but he's the only. But we're the only one he's reaching out to. These dark skinned black women. You get what I'm saying?
Okay. One
But he put them. He
more
put us
thing. One
down
thing.
on YouTube. But
I'm gonna
he's the
go.
only one that
She's not the only one
he's
that
not
done
reaching out to
said
them
he's
Karen.
so. So does his
Right?
Peter do this thing? I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying she's not the only woman. That
No.
other girl,
I don't know.
the
Yes,
other
it was
girl
several
said it
times that
stank
people
too,
said that.
and that's infection.
Yeah,
You know what?
yeah, it was several
Hello,
people that
everybody.
said
We're
that.
And
not
why would
going
you want to
there.
sleep with him if it's Peter we stank?
But what I'm saying,
I'm just
April,
saying, if
listen
it's
to
Peter
what I'm
we the
saying.
stink, why you want to sleep with him?
Because they both
I
want
think
looks.
that was a
But
lie.
listen,
That was
April,
just
what
to
I'm
make
saying
him
is
mad. That
he
was just
puts
a
us.
clown.
He puts us. Okay, listen. What I'm saying is he puts us down. The dark skinned black women. He puts us down on live, but in the background, he only messing with these dark women. But on live, he puts us down. He's not flying out no
But we
Karens.
messing with him
He ain't
too.
flying out
But
none of
But
why
that.
is
Joanna,
that so
You
strange?
know
we
what I'm saying?
messing with
Why
him
is that
too.
strange?
Right. I agree. I agree.
But Joanna, we
I
And
agree.
messing with
then
him
it's not,
too, and
and
we
it's
know the
not
type
his
of
behind
person
the scenes.
he is
It's
now.
not behind the scenes. If you got his OnlyFans, you will see. Like, well, I mean, I'm be honest. You gonna see that he messed with black women.
Right.
He has sex with dark skinned women on OnlyFans too. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not
And
nothing
we
behind the
messing with
scenes.
him.
Do you know he got a? And yes, and you know he got dark skinned women following him. And Tasha K
Yeah.
liked him at one point.
And I
Right.
mean,
But
it's
what I'm.
funny.
But my point is, why downgrade us dark skinned women on live,
Because it's
but in
a
the
show,
background,
because
that's
it's
only
Because we
that's
get
his
bread. That's
paid
sex
how he
for
story.
it,
makes his
money,
Joanna.
money.
for money, for
That's
Because
how
money,
we
he
get
makes
paid
his money,
for it.
For
Joanna.
money. Okay.
for
Because
Yes,
money.
we get
but
Okay.
I'm gonna
paid
get
Okay.
for
down
it,
now.
and it can be done. And he been doing it,
I'm
and
gonna let,
he
Okay.
been getting away with it.
I'm gonna let Sean
That's what.
say this.
That's the only part I was confused
Thank you
about.
for
That was the
having me.
only part I was confused about.
All
All
right,
right,
baby.
April.
I'm about to roll
Mm.
out.
All right. Take care. Take care.
And I'm
That was
gonna
the
let
Yeah.
only thing that
LaShonda
I was
talk. Hold
confused
on. I'm
about.
gonna let LaShonda talk because LaShonda been sitting there
Okay.
just
Hey,
patiently.
I'm a mute up. Go ahead.
yeah, hey, Spiller
LaShonda.
Boy, hey everybody. I just wanted to jump on because it's all a money grab. Everything that they do. I mean, everybody recognized that it's all a money grab. Tommy, he just doing that. He just did that stuff for views, and so that young lady. I mean, we all see it. We all know it. I feel like, as black women, I feel like we fall for it every single time. When we get put down, then we just boost up our outrage, just boost up the views and all that. And that's what make these people money all the time. So,
Yep.
I mean, it is what it is. But, I mean, I was happy to hear that he got punched. So I'm sorry. I mean, I know people saying that, that's it's a bad thing or whatever. But I mean, I'm sure she's gonna have to pay for it or whatever. But
No,
medical
I
bills, whatever.
also
Just pay
feel the
for it.
same way.
I
I
mean,
feel the same way.
being a grown up, pay for your mistakes or whatever. But I was happy to hear about it because I can't stand the
I
dude.
felt the
So
same way when I
I,
seen
I
it. When I
mean,
first saw that video, when I first saw that video, and I could be. I know God, please bless me, but I was like, yes, somebody finally got his butt. But the
finally,
only
that's
thing is,
how I felt.
he
Shoot,
made
he
he
deserved it.
made his point. He
And
made
Fresh
his
and Fit,
point.
they known they
Like, look how
all
these
these
black
dudes out
women
here,
act.
they do
That's
all
the only
this,
thing I'm saying.
stuff just for money. They don't really believe half the stuff they be out there saying half
Yeah.
the time,
I
and
agree.
And then
they
if you
talk
hear
all
the
this rah
way
rah
that he
this stuff
talk
and all
about
this
his
other stuff. It's for money. So
the
And
way
she's
that
on
they
her
he talk
press
about
they
his
release
took
own
him
tour.
for
mother.
that bull crap. So
And
whatever.
she's on her press release tour right now. So that, I
She
mean,
Right.
is.
it's
She's
just part of the
Right, right.
literally
it's just part of the
how
YouTube game.
cloud chasing works.
Yeah.
Just save it. Set your lawyers' fees and stuff to the side and be prepared. But you're gonna have to pay on the front end or the back end, like James said. But just be prepared for that. But
But have y'all ever heard him talk?
I was
Have
happy
y'all
to
ever
hear
heard him
about
talk
it.
about his mother? Have y'all ever heard him talk about his mother?
Yes, I
That
heard him
was
talk
been
about
the
his
Mm.
first
mother and his
reason.
auntie.
That would be the
Yes.
first reason why I would never mess with him because he talks so bad about his own
Mm.
mother. You know,
That's probably the reason
Usually
why
how
he
and
it
then
started
goes.
his whole videos and stuff like that. But once he saw that
yeah,
it got
yeah.
profitable, that he just kept doing it.
Listen, let
So
me
And
say
then
so.
he even talked about
Let
his
me say
daughter
this.
like that now.
Wait a minute. Let me say this. Now I've been on here for quite a few years, and I've always known about Tommy. And I would watch and I would see what he was all about. I don't feel no kind of way about Tommy. I don't not like Tommy. I don't like Tommy. I don't feel any kind of way about Tommy. I know what he gives. I know what he gives. He has a disdain for dark-skinned women.
Mm-hmm.
He has a disdain for gay people. And why do I care? Why do I care? Because if I go over there every couple of months, if I dip in and go over there and look at Tommy, who's over there? Gay people and dark-skinned women. So how much of my time over here on this platform do you think I'm gonna dedicate to, oh, I can't stand Tommy? Why do I not like Tommy? Tommy getting to the bag. That is literally his brand. You know, when it's a topic of gay, he gonna go off and the ratings gonna go up. When it's about black women, weave and fake hair and too much makeup or whatever, he gonna go off and the ratings gonna go up. So why am I gonna be sitting over here mad with Tommy? When every time I look over there, who's over there? Dark-skinned women and gays. You understand what I'm saying?
And I think that's the same argument that has been said about the beef sector when people want to get outraged about beef.
Thank you.
I don't understand why people get outraged when you keep going to the same thing. It's your, it's a guilty pleasure. Just accept it. It's a guilty pleasure.
They're playing the same script and people are falling for it over and over again.
Right.
And for even like for you as a content creator, this is just another opportunity for us to come together and share our commentary. Meanwhile, they're running with the bag. They're already halfway to the bank or halfway, going to do an interview with somebody about this very topic.
And that's just why I don't fall into the thing of, like, when I came in today, I didn't come in hot. See, Tasha came in hot. I knew right away. I know Tasha and Tommy. Like,
that's a money grab too.
They're like oil and water.
Tasha got bills to pay.
Well,
they got like oil and water. I pretty much knew before I clicked on it the top that Tasha wasn't going to agree with Tommy, but it just struck me funny because she was hot. Like she went in hot today. But I'm just like, I can't devote the energy to it. I already know what it's going to give. I can't devote the energy to it. And then they fall right back in. It's the same thing every so often with Tommy. If somebody tries to challenge him, and he literally is not going to budge. He's not going to budge. You're not going to make him respect dark-skinned women. I don't care how many he has on OnlyFans. If he don't respect them, he's not going to respect them. But then they say, well, why does he screw them? Because it feels and tastes good.
And it's a bag behind it.
He didn't say he didn't desire you. He said he don't respect you, that he don't want to be with you. I ain't never heard him say that he didn't desire a black woman. I've heard him say he didn't respect them. I've heard him say he didn't want to date them. But I never heard him say he didn't desire you all. And the first time I saw that he was on OnlyFans and boom, he was up there on the screen, it was a brown woman. A brown woman. And I knew for a fact, I know she didn't heard what people said, but she was in there just grinning and smiling and sweating. So I say all of that to say this. Don't get yourselves too bent out of shape about it. Don't get too bent out of shape. Now, we are in the court of public opinion, and we are the jurors of public opinion. So we can say what we want. But don't let it bother your day. Don't let it bother your day, because at the end of the day, Tommy is not going to change. You can't change Tommy's mind. His mind is made up about what he feels, and he's an older grown man, he grown at this point. He ain't gonna change what he thinks about dark-skinned women or black women as a whole. And it just is what it is. It is what it is. And girlfriend, like I said, front end or the back end, we done went past the front end. She's going to pay on the back end. I truly believe the court ain't gonna side with her, because she assaulted him. She assaulted him. She balled her fist up and she punched him, which was her intent. Her intent was to knock him out, and she balled her fist up and she punched that man.
But even then, I don't think she's going to have to pay all that much. What, a couple $1,00000?
I mean, they ain't going to hit her for nothing she ain't got. You know what I mean?
So that video was more satisfying than that. The ones who really won out was Fresh and Fit, because that's their whole.
So James, what's the laws in Atlanta, James, about the stand your ground? Because she keep on bringing that up. She keep on talking about.
You said stand your ground. Stand your ground don't say you allowed to punch people.
Right, but
she got flued out. I don't care where you live.
Got flued out.
It don't matter where you live. You're not allowed to punch people. You're not allowed to punch people. And I think the stand your ground would have actually covered Tommy if he had punched her back. I think what that would have actually covered.
I thought stand your ground is when you have to when you're protecting your property. If someone comes into your property,
yeah,
the right to defend them.
I'm not 481.
I don't know, but punching people is wrong, no matter where you live. When you are the aggressor and you are the first one that throws the punch, you get in trouble.
I bet that was satisfying though when it connected on his face though.
Oh my God. Well, she got it twice.
Smiling and laughing.
It was just, yeah.
But no pain.
His verbal abuse will kill the case. Where does that happen, Monique Mom? You can say whatever you want to say. That's freedom of speech. You could call people a bitch, and it don't cost you nothing.
Do it every day.
Somebody calling you a bitch or whatever or whatnot. If somebody called me faggot, I can't go and I'm not able to go punch them. I'm not able to. And right now, you call me a faggot while we at work. Guess who's coming back to work tomorrow? Not you. Not you. But if I haul off and sock you for calling me that and we go to court, guess who's going to have to pay?
Me.
So him calling her a bitch is not going to do anything. That's not going to do a thing. It was a heated conversation.
Hey, I agree, but y'all,
it wasn't right.
The GoFundMe link so I can support her.
Yeah, it wasn't right. Now, I mean, he really did, and he started out with the name calling.
Mm-hmm.
She was using her words, and she was winning because she was making him. She was. You say it proves provocation, but then they could actually go back and say that when they kept asking her to drop it and to move on, and she wouldn't. The hosts kept asking her to drop it and move on, and she wouldn't. She was provoking him to call her that bitch. They were all, I mean, everybody was doing their thing. They were doing their thing. But that hit is where the problem comes in at. All them words back and forth, that's not going to do anything downtown. Nothing. They're going to go right in at who swung, who punched who, and that's where your problem going to be at. In the state of Florida, it does not have to be your residence for stand your ground to apply.
Okay. I wasn't sure because I don't live in Florida.
Did you say probably going to get that $5,000 back?
Oh, that is so shady. What if I play that church lady?
Church lady shady. No,
I love church lady.
She's from a church near you, honey.
Hallelujah.
I got two Joannas. Joanna.
Oh wow, two different.
Joanna.
Drop one of them. I don't know what happened. I had a phone call and it messed it up.
That's what happened. Okay. FJ. Well, what are you coming on here trying to give sex and carrying on? We had enough of sex. That's why the people start fighting in the first place.
I'm laying down, yo.
Hi, FJ.
How you doing?
Look what happened when he had okay, you say, look what happened when he had the car accident. The video made a difference. His insurance didn't want to fight. Is that true, or is that what you heard? Because I don't recall that.
Church ladies say don't hit if you don't want to be hit either in the face or in the pockets.
Baby, front and back end. Front and back end. I didn't hear that. I'm not saying, Money Mom, I'm not saying that it ain't true. I'm asking, what is that actually true, or is that hearsay that the insurance company didn't want to fight the case because of the way he acted? Because I've never heard that.
First Amendment.
Well, I'm up here just to say the whole stand your ground thing. You can't stand your ground in someone else's situation if you can have the ability to walk away from a situation. You can't claim that someone was harassing you when you had the ability to walk away.
Thank you, baby.
If you have the ability to walk away, then you need to walk away. I mean, I understand she was upset and possibly embarrassed because he was going at her that way, but to hit someone is just wrong in general. Like you said, you can call people names all day long. Well, as soon as you touch someone, that's when the law was broken.
Okay, so she said he pushed the other dude into her, and that's when she lost it.
Her and the ball monkey showed up.
But see, that again, I'm still up in the air about that. I'm still up in the air about that. Because again, they'll have to review the tape and see how they felt about it. Because again, I got somebody else saying that Joanna said he pushed once they pushed him, that's when she hit him, but that's not true. I mean, once they pushed him into the wall, they got pushed into the wall after the fact. She punched him before she snapped all the way out. She snapped out after he pushed him into the wall, and she snapped out and carrying on, but she had already punched him twice by then. So again, it just depends.
But what I was saying about that, James, was I said he didn't have all that smoke until she was restrained. When they had her restrained, then I said that's when he came up and tried to start swinging. That's what I was saying.
Well, that's after she punched him, Joanna. She had punched him by then.
He stood up. She did.
Yeah, they were standing face to face before the guy got in between.
And he shoved him in.
Thank you, baby.
Made her swing at him twice, which made him push them again and all went towards the wall.
Right.
She stood up first on him, and that's when the guy had to get between her and Tommy, and Tommy called her a stupid bitch, and then he stood up, which made her, get aggravated, and he tapped the guy to push her, which made her swing at him.
Right. So why do you think that? Do you guys think that he kept bringing the death of her father up just to interrogate, like this?
You keep going back to that. You keep going back to that because it don't mean anything. It don't mean anything. He was trying to hurt her.
Oh, okay.
He's trying to hurt her. When you're in battle, and I've told y'all that a million times. When we get in battle, I'm not getting ready to tell you that I like your ponytails. Baby, I'm going to get you.
Right.
And anything that I know that will rouse you, I'm going to slay you with it.
I don't know.
So when you get in battle, there is no reads that are too much for me. When the battle starts, it's a battle. So it's just all out. It don't matter what's said in the battle.
It depends because it's certain things I just won't say. I don't care how mad or how.
That's your integrity, though, Indigo.
And I know, Uncle. I know.
Listen.
When
the battle starts, anything might happen.
I know. You can't tell nobody how mad to get.
Right, verbally, and then something really small might, like they said, his penis thing. That might have took him to the place that he felt like he needed to about her deceased.
Right. I agree.
So by Miss T. You're muted, babe.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right. Hello.
Hey, I'm losing my light, y'all. Go ahead, baby.
Oh my gosh. First of all, I want to say I love you. I've been watching you very, very, very long time, and I've always wanted to come up here and talk to you because I just absolutely adore you. I love when you did the reviews for Drag Race, like I wish you would do it more, but yeah.
Yeah, I am behind. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. This season is whack anyway. So you would probably drag them, but I will sit down with my popcorn and listen.
I got all the notes. I just got to do the videos. I've been watching. I got all the notes for the last 3 episodes. I just got to do them.
Okay, please. I'll be ready. But
okay.
I wanted to come up here and say I wasn't at the beginning of the live, so I kind of came in the middle. I just want to give my 2 cents on Mr. Tommy. First of all, I think he's very weak for what he did. He was definitely provoking that young woman. But I also want to give her some dummy behavior points as well, because she shouldn't have had her black ass up there no way. Like, I don't know what self-esteem pills we need to come out with, but Black women really should just stop taking their asses to these podcasts where they know they're going to bait them and try to get them in a situation just like this where your cootie cat is all out on camera. Like, it was very secondhand embarrassment as a Black woman, and I just wish she would not have even gone. I don't care if she slept with them the night before, especially when she started bragging about him flying them out and all that ghetto mess. It just the whole room started to stink. You know what I mean? And I just was very upset on how the whole table was looking at this dude, like kind of wrapping her up. And then when she stood up, that should have been everybody's cue to be like, all right, let's pause this. Let's move around. Let's separate them or finish
right,
this.
because they were ending it anyway. They were getting ready to end.
Yeah, it was all content. They wanted that content, so they allowed it to go on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She knew they were gonna, do something. I mean, just the simple fact that she went on there with him and knowing his history and so the whole conversation started from that whole, I don't like what you say on your podcast. Okay, baby girl, if you don't like what he says, then why are you sitting next to him? Why did you let him fly you and your little ghetto friend out? Like, it's giving, I don't love myself. It's giving, I want attention. And it was just very tacky. Tommy's tacky. Karen Samuels is tacky. All of these men on these podcasts are tacky. So I don't understand why Black women are still getting their asses up there and being entertained. Let the preferences do it. Let the white girls
and
do it.
Like I said, all she did was gave him footage of what he been talking down about Black women about. She gave him that footage. So now he gonna run with that. He's gonna show that footage over and over again to say, just so he can say, this is your typical Black woman. You get what I'm saying? And she gave him that, and that pissed me off. She gave him that.
And she shouldn't have been up there.
Just literally, right. When she could have literally, like you said, just walked away when she found out he was there, because she didn't know he was going to be there when she first arrived. And when she was notified that he was going to be there, she had that choice right then to either go in there or leave. But she chose to stay.
But I don't believe that part of the story, because she said she was with him the day before. He flew them out, her and the friend. So I think she knew he was going to be there. I think she just wanted to put on air.
You see on the audio, the video of her and the guy talking, and when she said, well, I didn't know he was going to be here, and he told her something like, yeah, I didn't tell you that he was going to be here because I didn't think you would show up. You will hear them talking, saying that. Yeah.
Well, it's just crazy though to me how they went on for 3 hours, and she was big up at him for 3 hours with all that.
Right,
I remember her saying, and I didn't know he was going to be here and stuff, but she literally big upped him for 3 hours. 3 hours. I sat there and watched that thing for 3 hours.
She did.
3 hours.
She promoted him. The whole time.
And that's why she's getting dummy behavior. That's why I'm telling you.
Right at the end, before it was time to go, she switched it over and said, "Boom, this is why I'm upset with you." I was like, "What?"
Maybe she was coming off of her high
and kept telling him how she unfollowed him. I unfollowed you. She kept saying, "I unfollowed you." Like, okay, so what's the point? Okay, you unfollowed him. So what's your point? But like I said, the seating arrangement was not like that when they first came on. Because remember, I told y'all that the 4 dark-skinned ladies was sitting on the couch after they took the break. They reversed seats and had her sitting right next to him. Fresh and Fit did that on purpose. They did that on purpose.
James, was there an altercation? Did she get into it with Tommy while she was on the trip with her friend? I was hearing stories that she was jealous because her friend slept with Tommy instead of her.
It didn't seem like there was anything that went on with that, or maybe it happened afterwards. Because see, again, there's more to that. The two of them that we weren't privy to. There's more to her. That's what you're saying. I didn't want to bring that up. But
via to her text messages when she left, when he flew her back out, flew her home, via to her to her text message. She was showing the text messages as though he was being concerned about her. Are you okay? I'm sorry this happened. Things like that. She showed all those text messages how he was reaching out to her and was saying, "I wish you wouldn't have left," and things like that. Because she showed all those text messages.
Mm.
So I don't know, but then he came back around when he was on Fresh and Fit and said that she was jealous because he slept with the other girl and not her. But if you look at the text messages, it says something totally different.
Well, that's the best. And here we go. We're at 2 hours. So I'm getting ready to shut this down because I have an appointment. But I will say this, you all. Like I said, don't get too bent. You know who we are. We are the court of public opinion. And this ain't over yet. This ain't over. This ain't the last that we've heard of this. So I'm going to say this from Kitchen Table Talk Live. We're probably going to revisit in a few days after, because there's going to be more stuff that comes out. I just have a feeling. I have a feeling that some of the things, some of the little missing pieces that we've been asking about are going to come out. And when it does, y'all meet me back here and we will discuss
Can
it.
I wait before you talk about things? Can I ask you a question? How did you
Yeah.
feel about Tasha K? How did you feel about Tasha K dismissing two people, especially one lady, when she was telling her that you're talking all this trash and you ain't even cammed
Mhm.
up, and the lady cammed up and she
Right.
dropped her? How did you feel about that? Like I thought that was like, wow, Tasha.
It
Like
was
really?
that's what made me actually come to camera, because I was like,
Oh,
what
okay.
is going on? What is, I know the whole thing of males versus females and boys hitting girls is always a hot button.
Mhm.
But there was so much more. There was something else underneath that made me
Mhm.
go back and start watching from why was Tasha coming in so hot. So yeah, I thought it was I was like, whoa, you know what I mean? It caught my attention. And that's why we actually ended up here today, was the fact that Tasha was so triggered by that is actually why we're here today. I
Right.
thought it was crazy woman why she got so triggered.
Fifi, she was in her Fifi. Yeah, she was in her Fifi so real. And but that lady, when she told that lady like, how you gonna talk and talk shit or what have you, and you ain't cam, that lady turned that camera on with her head rag on and looked
She
it
did.
good. You know what I'm saying? She looked it
And thank
good.
you,
Like she was
Money
like,
Mom,
bitch, I
for
could turn my
coming
camera
in
on.
and being such a good sport. And it was a great conversation, Money Mom. Thank you so much.
Yeah. I felt
Yeah,
triggered by
it was
that.
that
Like for
was a
Tasha,
lot. And
like
the
why
lady
would you?
stood 10
Well,
toes down. She wasn't letting Tasha steamroll her. And Tasha
Right,
kicked her
exactly.
out because Tasha, it's her platform.
Right,
Tasha
But
like
right.
I
yes,
think if Tasha would have kept
Tasha like yes men. That's what Tasha entertains yes men.
Yeah,
She's not going to
yeah,
entertain
yeah.
old
somebody
girl
who be
wasn't
opposing
going
her.
for it. She was like, she
She
turned that
wasn't.
camera on. She like
She
she
turned it on fast,
she
honey, and
flipped
had
that
her
camera
head
on,
wrapped. She
baby.
had her
I
head
was
wrapped
like,
wrapped
whoa. She was
around
like
her
that.
head, and she had a little gap in her teeth, but her teeth was straight and clean. Her teeth was straight and clean.
She was on it. I said, oh my.
Hmm She
Yes.
turned my camera up, bitch. I could turn my camera on and show. She
It was
showed turned it on,
definitely,
but she flushed her. She flushed her.
it
That
was
was
sure
messed up. I
was.
thought that was
I'm
fucked.
gonna have to go
I
back
thought
and
that was
watch it. I'm
messed
gonna give
up.
her a view today. I'm gonna go get her a view today because I
And
got to see that.
she didn't get scared or anything. She stood 10 toes down in it. And
She
Tasha was
sure
like, get her
did.
out of here. Get her out of
She
here.
sure
I was like,
did.
whoa. And then it kept spiraling until she actually went ahead and ended up ending. And the chat was
Yeah.
cutting up real bad by that time. And then the last lady that came up, she was trying to be very positive, and the chat was lighting her up.
Oh
The
Jesus.
one who
The
had
chat,
that
they
did
had the
she
crown
had that
on.
accent?
They
You
start
talking
trying to
about the one
figure
who
out
had
if
that
she was
accent?
a trans woman, and they start lighting her up. I'm like, she ain't even do nothing. Like she had a
Okay,
positive
but James,
message.
what about the lady that had that accent like she was African, or she had an accent like she was from a different country or
Yeah,
something? The one, the lady,
that was
she had that
that Jessica
accent.
X. That was
Oh,
Jessica
okay,
X.
yeah, she spoke some good truth
She
too.
was very
You know,
she was rough
yes,
on her questioning with Shay. She was like really, she wasn't
yes.
letting Shay breathe.
She said you said it out your own mouth that if she said you said it out your own mouth that if he would have paid you, you would have effed him, you know. And then she kept skipping around it, and then the lady kept saying it again. You said it out your own mouth. I heard you. You know what I mean? And they kept, you know, skipping over it. But when she flushed that one lady who she took the cam up and she cammed up, I was like, oh wow, you flushed her. Why? Why did you do that? Because she had some good points.
The narrative.
So y'all should definitely go over and see Tasha's video, and that will actually lead you, like I said, truly watching I'll say the last 30 minutes of Tasha's video is what made me end up doing my video and actually going and doing the research, you know, that led me here. So definitely go take a look at Tasha. Yeah, go take a look at Tosh and see what I'm talking about. See what Joanna's talking about.
Well, I'll be back when you come back.
I know you will.
She's gonna have to stop holding that grudge on everybody just because she got sued. You know what I'm saying? Because she can't be mad at everybody because the women was up there making points.
Leave Tasha alone.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. I ain't messing with her. I'm not messing with her.
All right,
but that lady was making good points. All right, thanks for having me, James. I'll be in chat.
Absolutely.
Everybody have a blessed Sunday.
You too, baby.
All right, everybody have a blessed Sunday.
You gonna stay up here with me while I take it out?
I guess, child. You know.
All right. Thank y'all for hanging out. I appreciate it, and I will catch y'all on Kitchen Table Talk Live on the flip side. We'll see y'all next time. Later.
All right.
And feel like